how's it going, friends? Thank you for tuning in to VR Revelation. So, it looks like the European Union right now is being robbed by a corruption scandal. So, the vice president of the European Parliament, right? The body there, one of the political bodies there in the European Union who takes part in making laws. So this woman here, very beautiful by the way, uh, was the vice president because she was just stripped of her powers. Apparently, was taking bribes from Qatar. Yes, Qatar, the country holding the World Cup right now. So during the construction of the stadiums for the World Cup, many people died. Many construction workers died during these projects, and you had these organizations accusing Qatar uh, of abusing their laborers, of unjustly making them work and putting them in dangerous positions. And so now, according to these revelations here, we had Qatar actually paying uh, European Union, government members in order to influence their decisions and make favorable laws towards Qatar. And so, for example, this woman, at some point came out in one of the meetings and was essentially defending Qatar, saying that they had some of the best worker or labor conditions or rights and whatever. But, behind closed doors, she was taking a whole bunch of money from Qatar. And so she was pretty much selling her influence to them. Now, this is pretty shocking because, the European Union and all these Western political bodies like to pretend like they are the beacon of righteousness or light. And of course, there's a lot of geopolitical conflict taking place right now with Russia. And, all these democratic countries are always accusing these authoritarian countries of corruption and stuff. But they're pretty much hypocrites because they are doing the same thing. And this is why I'll always say it doesn't matter how good the laws of your country are, how democratic or how elegant they may be, even with the United States and the Constitution and the beautiful writing that is a political writing or laws or system. It doesn't matter how good it is because the problem are human beings. The problem are the people that are alive right now that are in power. And every head is its own world, and so you're always going to have corruption in any government, and we're finding that out. Of course, we already knew that, but it's pretty incredible when you see these revelations taking place. There's corruption in the European Union, there's corruption in the United States, as we're finding out right now constantly with all this breaking news that takes place from day to day now, it seems. But yeah, with the Twitter files, we're seeing how government officials actually manipulate social media, things like that, and sort of bribe each other with, promises and things like that. And so it's just a whole corrupt mess. Pretty much the whole world is infected with corruption. Unfortunately, we are a corrupt species. There are people that try to live good, and God bless them and God strengthen them. I certainly try to live as honest as I can, since I am a Christian and a Bible believer. But yeah, it's the hypocrisy on plain display here. So let me read a little bit here from this Washington Post article here. It says, the de facto capital of the European Union is being robbed by explosive allegations that World Cup host Qatar bribed current and former European Parliament officials to try to influence decisions at the highest level. After at least 16 raids across Brussels on Friday, Belgian authorities confiscated more than 630,000 in cash as well as electronics while holding 6 people for questioning. On Sunday, a Belgian judge charged 4 of them, saying they are suspected of money laundering, corruption, and taking part in a criminal organization on behalf of a Gulf state. Belgian media identified the state as Qatar and reported that those charged included European Parliament Vice President Eva Kaili and her partner, parliamentary assistant Francesco Giorgi, as well as former member of the European Parliament, Pier Antonio Panzetti. Others reportedly caught up in the investigation included the head of Brussels-based union and an unnamed Italian national. So yes, this woman here, the vice president of the parliament there, was essentially taking money to do countries favors, in this case Qatar. But just imagine if they were doing business with Qatar, they probably were doing, shady stuff with other countries, as tends to happen with these, situations of corruption. People get greedy, and then they kind of just become addicted, and they start, getting out of hand, and eventually that's how they end up getting caught. But anyways, very scandalous news here from coming out of the European Union. And let me just read here the definition of what the European Union is. So it says the European Union is a supranational, I love that word, supranational, political and economic union of 27 member states that are located primarily in Europe. So it's a coalition, a super organization, super government, sort of hinting like at a one world government, but not fully, of course, since it's only 27 member states. But it's a huge political body, supranational, as we read there, and I'm sure there's corruption from other things throughout. The European government there, because it's so massive. You can imagine if this scandal was unveiled, I'm sure there is got to be all sorts of corruption taking place there. And again, this is very destabilizing news for the European Union and for all the Western powers right now, who are pretty much trying to be very affirmative and firm against Russia. And so, Russia's got to be looking at this, just enjoying themselves right now. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below what you think of this news, what you think should be done, and what you think this means right now for the, geopolitical scene. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you for tuning into VR Revelations. The truth certainly is stranger than fiction. Have a wonderful day, and God bless.